Hello everyone, it's Miss Angela from the Fort Worth Public Library. Welcome back to another Fort Worth Nature Center Discovery Club story time. Today we are talking about teeth. Can you point to your teeth? There's my teeth! Did you know that sometimes you can tell what an animal eats just based on its teeth? Our song is going to talk about that. It's to the tune of Mary Had a Little Lamb. You've heard that song before, right? Perfect. Our first verse is about herbivores. Herbivores have flat teeth and they only eat plants. So what you need to know for this first verse is, some animals are herbivores, their teeth are very flat. And what do herbivores eat? Plants. Ready? Some animals are herbivores, herbivores, herbivores. Some animals are herbivores, their teeth are very flat. Now the next verse is about carnivores. Carnivores have very sharp teeth, and they only eat meat. So what you need to know for the second verse is, some animals are carnivores, their teeth are very flat. And what do carnivores eat? Meat. Some animals are carnivores, carnivores, carnivores. Some animals are carnivores, their teeth are very sharp. And then the last verse is about omnivores. Omnivores have both kinds of teeth because they can eat both plants and meat. So this last verse you need, some animals are omnivores, they have both kinds of teeth. And what do omnivores eat? They eat plants and meat. Ready? Some animals are omnivores, omnivores, omnivores. Some animals are omnivores, they have both kinds of teeth. Very good! Our story for today is The Lion and the Mouse, which you might have heard before. It's one of Aesop's fables. Once upon a time, a lion went out into the forest to spend the day exploring and hunting. A lion is a carnivore and eats meat. See his sharp teeth? Lion saw lots of beautiful things in the forest, but he did not find a lot to eat. After a long day, Lion lay down to sleep, resting his head on his paws. As the sun went down, a little mouse woke up, and she realized that she was late. The rest of her family had already gone to harvest seeds and grain together. Mice are herbivores. They eat plants, so they have flat teeth. You can't see the teeth on this puppet, but mice have flat teeth. She was hurrying to catch up with them and did not see Lion lying on the ground. She ran smack into him and squeaked in surprise. Lion woke up right away. Roar! Lion grabbed Mouse's tail as she tried to run away. "Ah, perfect," said Lion. "I am very hungry, and you look like a delicious snack." "Spare me," begged Mouse. "Please let me go." "Why should I spare you when it would be so easy to eat you?" Mouse thought, what could she say to this giant lion? She thought about how her parents always told her to help others. "Someday I will surely be able to help you when you need it." Ha 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 ha! The lion thought that this was very funny. How could a tiny mouse ever help a great and powerful lion like him? But he said, "Oh, Mouse, at least you have given me a good laugh today. Run away before I change my mind." So Mouse ran away to join her family and ate lots of delicious seeds and grain. A few days later, Lion was hunting in the forest. He had found a new stream and was following it, hoping to catch something as it came to drink water. Lion was not looking down at his feet, and he walked straight into a trap. A hunter's net had caught him, and he couldn't get free. He tried to rip the net with his claws, but it was too strong. He tried to bite the net with his teeth, but they were too long and sharp to catch the net. He roared, "Roar!" Can you roar with me? Roar! He filled the forest with his angry roaring. Mouse was sleeping in her den far away, but she woke up when she heard Lion's roaring. "It's Lion," she said. "Now is my chance to help him." She hurried to the place where Lion was, following the sound of his roars. Roar! When she got there, Lion was wiggling and struggling, trying to get free of the net so he didn't see her. She looked at the net and realized that with her flat teeth she could chew through it, just like she chewed through grasses. "Lion!" she squeaked. Lion didn't hear her. "Ahem! Lion!"
"A little mouse, why are you here? Do you want to come and laugh at me?"
"No, Lion, I am here to help you. Stay still."
"Help me? A little mouse like you? Ha ha ha!" Then he thought, well, I could use a rest after all this roaring and thrashing about. I'll stay still for a bit.
While Lion rested, Mouse used her flat teeth to chew and chew through the net. She made it through one loop, then another. Lion saw that she was making progress, so he made sure to stay as still as possible to make it easier. It took a long time, but finally Mouse had made a hole big enough for Lion to fit through.
"Thank you, Mouse," said Lion. "I guess I was wrong. A little mouse really can help a big and powerful lion. You may be little, but you are kind and powerful too."
The end. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's time to pass it over to Mr. Michael at the Nature Center to talk more about teeth. See you next time.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Perez. I'm a dentist, and you may recognize me, or my twin brother. You may know my twin brother. His name is Michael, and he works at the Fort Worth Nature Center and Refuge. And he told me that this week y'all are going to be talking about teeth, and I thought, well, since I'm a dentist, I should be talking to him about, or y'all, about the teeth. So I'm going to be talking this lesson, and we're talking about teeth. What? You mean you don't want me to do the lesson? I'm a dentist, Michael. I'm a dentist. Okay. Well, Michael doesn't want me to do the class, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to him. Come on. Well, thanks a lot, Dr. Perez. Sorry about that. I didn't know my brother was going to come in and try to take over our show here at the Nature Center. Go get some teeth cleaned, okay? You got other things you need to be doing. Again, sorry about that. I'm going to be doing the lesson on teeth, and I'm also going to thank Miss Angela for her story time. Dr. Perez didn't do that, did he? Well, I am. Thank you very much, Miss Angela, for your story time. Now we're going to continue and talk about teeth. And you think about teeth and may think, that sounds kind of boring, right? Talk about teeth? Oh, no. The teeth are very, very interesting. You learn a lot about the animal and learn some cool things. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, today's lesson, we're going to talk about the different types of teeth. We're going to talk about what particular forms of wildlife are considered based on the type of teeth they have. We'll learn about what an animal likes to eat based on the type of teeth. And we'll show you some skulls. And I have lots of skulls to talk about and go over all these different aspects of teeth. Now, first of all, there are two big groups. We categorize wildlife based on their teeth and what they're like and how similar they are and how different they are. So let me just give you an example and show you what I'm talking about. Now, the two terms I'm referring to are these: homodont and heterodont. So homodont means, homo mean the same, dont mean teeth. So same teeth. So this skull here is from our Texas state small land mammal. It likes to dig around in the ground looking for grubs, has a big old armor on its back and bands on it. That's right, you guessed it. It's an armadillo. So if you look at his teeth, this armadillo's teeth, look how they're all the same. They're all those little peg-like teeth. So they're the same. So this is a homodont. So when you see a skull, you can say, oh, well, that's a homodont, that's a heterodont. So what's a heterodont? Well, hetero means different, and dont means teeth. So a heterodont is an animal that has different types of teeth. So if you look, notice it has these teeth up here in the front. We'll talk about what they are. Those teeth there, those teeth right here, okay, on the side there. So they have different types of teeth. So you have homodonts and heterodonts. So I want to get that out of the way. So if you come out with a skull, or say you call us and say, hey, Mr. Michael, we found this skull. I don't know what it is. And you can say, well, is it a homodont or a heterodont? And now kind of narrow it down a little bit because there's not as many homodonts as we have heterodonts. All right, so let's talk about the different types of teeth that these animals have. I'm going to go back to this one. I didn't tell you what the animal this is. This is a mammal. It's in the cat family. It's a feline. But it's not your everyday house cat. No, it's not a wild cat. Not a wild cat. Nope, not a bear cat. Not a bear cat. Yeah, it's a bobcat. Great, bobcat. So this is a bobcat. So let's talk about, we said it's a heterodont. Let's talk about the different types of teeth it has. So if you look here in the front, see that those right there looks like the Jeep, the front of a Jeep. If you have a Jeep at home or seen a Jeep, it looks like a Jeep right there. Those are called incisors. They help cut the food and grab onto food and it can slice food as well. The other teeth that we have are canines. Those long teeth like that, and you see it looks like a vampire. I want to suck your blood. Oh, that's right. Halloween's over. I can't do that anymore. Gotta focus on Thanksgiving and Christmas now. Halloween had its chance. So it has these long canines here. Then the next set of teeth are these right here. We have premolars, like you have pre-K. That's the school you go to, a grade you go to before you go to kindergarten. Well, premolars are the teeth before the molars. And here's a good example of some molars right there. Okay, canines can cut flesh, as I said. Didn't say, but now I'm saying. And premolars and molars can grind and cut the food up and grind it in smaller pieces, as well as some of the other ones as well. So we talked about what a homodont is, a heterodont. We said that different types of teeth, such as incisors, canines, premolars, and molars in the back. So there's different types of teeth. Now, based on the type of teeth you have, it's a good indication of what you like to eat. Now, you imagine if you're going to be a meat eater, and do you know what the term is for an animal that eats meat? Can y'all say it? Carnivore, exactly right. So carnivores going to have a lot of different teeth, those canines that cut their food up and eat their food. Another thing about their teeth is their lower jaw on a carnivore typically goes up and down. They're just chomping down on their food. In fact, some of them, we're going to get to in a second, have specialized teeth in the back, or not necessarily specialized teeth, but the arrangement is specialized to help them cut the food up in smaller pieces. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But generally up and down, okay? And they have all those canines and the incisors, premolars and so forth. Then you have animals that are herbivores. And what do herbivores eat? Yeah, plants, exactly. So their teeth, they're not a true, homodont, because they do have some incisors. A lot of herbivores, like deer, they'll have incisors on their bottom jaw, not their top jaw. Elk, if you know what an elk is, they do have those on the top as well. But anyway, they have these teeth here, and they're used for grinding. Yeah, they look a little sharp there at the edge. We'll have to cut the food up, right? But then once they get it cut, they can actually grind it. And as I said earlier, in the carnivore, they kind of chew up and down, if you will. And they can't manipulate or move their bottom jaw. But an herbivore actually can move their jaw side to side like that to help grind down and chew the plant materials that they're trying to eat. So again, their teeth are designed for grinding food, like plants, okay, grasses and so forth. So we have carnivores, we have herbivores, and we also have omnivores. Omnivores are a little bit of both, okay? So they do have canines. This right here is from the Virginia opossum. You can come see ours here at the Nature Center. We have one on display. But they have the canines, they have the incisors, they have the premolars and molars. Okay, it's a heterodont. But they also have teeth in the back that are their molars are a little flattened, so they can chew as well. Now we said omnivores are animals that eat both plants and meat. However, there are some animals that will eat more meat, so they're more carnivore than omnivore, and some that eat more plant material, they're more herbivore than carnivore. Good example of that is a coyote. Coyotes are omnivores, They're more carnivore based on the fact that they can't move their lower jaw side to side, and also so that kind of gets them to eat more of the meat because they can't grind plants and so forth down. So they're more meat eaters. And then there are some other animals, like say a bear. Okay, a bear, they're omnivores, but they tend to eat more of the fruits and the berries and the plant material because the teeth in the back are more designed for grinding food. And yes, they will eat meat, they'll eat fish and other things as well. So, so that's how you can tell by looking at teeth if they are omnivore, carnivore, or herbivore. That's pretty cool. So just now, in the short time that I've had you, you could pick up a skull and you can say several things about this skull. It's like, well, it's a heterodont because he has different types of teeth. Oh, look at those canines and those incisors and, oh, very sharp premolars and molars. Yeah, so you named all the teeth. It's a carnivore, probably primarily carnivore because, again, those sharp teeth. In fact, it can't move its lower jaw to grind down plants. So you just learned a lot of stuff. You just told me and others a lot of stuff about that animal. Okay? So we're going to move on and talk a little more about, well, I want to show you this skull more so than anything. You see this? This is an alligator. So you tell me, is this a heterodont or a homodont? Yeah, homodont. It's just all the same types of teeth. Now, the cool thing about teeth, too, in the case of, like, reptiles, alligators in particular, once they lose their teeth, now, when you're a baby, you lose your tooth, you get your tooth, you either put it on your pillow and you wait for the tooth fairy to come, or you get that tooth and you wait for El Raton Perez to come and get that tooth so he can build that big old castle, right? So you get that tooth, and then a new one comes in, and that's your permanent tooth. And once that tooth falls out, that's it. No more, unless you go to the dentist and get some teeth to put in. But reptiles like this alligator, once it loses its tooth, there's another one already ready to come in and grow. And that's a pretty cool trait, right? If you lose a tooth, you already got something ready. And when you're a carnivore in the wild, and mom and dad are not sitting there offering you three meals a day, preparing them for you and so forth, you got to hunt for them. Like an alligator, well, you don't, but an alligator has to go hunt and gets food. Well, if they don't have any teeth, it's going to be hard to do that. But having those teeth really help. So when it loses a tooth, it grows another one in its place. That's a pretty cool thing. All right. So let's move along. Talk about two special functions or way that animals use their teeth. Now, this is from a coyote. Oh, not a wolf, a coyote, so I should stop that. You see it has incisors here, canines right here, and they overlap each other. It has premolars and molars. Now, one thing I want you to look, pay attention to this tooth right here. You see that tooth? I'm going to kind of turn it to its side and where it's facing you, and look how it sticks outside. It's like, it's got its teeth hanging over like this. You go over that. That's right. His teeth hang over. Okay? His teeth hang over. And may look silly, right? I look silly when I do this with my teeth. Well, it's not silly for a coyote. In fact, it's very advantageous. It's a big advantage because when he opens and closes those teeth, they overlap each other. Can you think of something, a school supply of yours or at home, where something you use and it's using to cut something and it looks like this? What tool am I thinking about? Scissors. You're exactly right. So these teeth serve as scissors, and they're used to cut because they overlap each other. So if you're at home and you have a pair of scissors, you get your mom and dad or grandparents to come out and get the scissors and watch them how they cut. And notice how they go side by side so close where they cut things. Well, those are called carnassial teeth. Can you say carnassial? Great, carnassial. So those teeth are very important because they help slice and cut food. Bobcats will have it. Coyotes have it. Your dog has it. If you have a dog at home, you give it a bone. Okay? When you give it a bone and starts chewing on it, he doesn't put the bone right here in the front and chew on it like this. No. he puts it way back there in the back of his mouth, and he's using it to cut, to break into the bone so he can get the inside part of that bone. They love that part. So carnassial teeth. So that's a specialized type of teeth, not necessarily type of teeth, but they are referred as carnassial because they cut, slide against each other. Here's some more interesting teeth and some cool teeth. This is from it's stuck. I can't get it to move. Anyway, from a beaver. Okay, I'm gonna try. There I go. Let's get it straight. Okay, there you go. There's the beaver. Okay. Excuse me. If you notice, it has these flat teeth. Okay, for grinding. Okay, but it also has these incisors that are so big right there, and they're also orange. You can't see it here. I have a better example in my office. I forgot to bring it, but there's orange teeth. Let me kind of get close. You can kind of see some orangeness to it. There's iron. It's an iron coated tooth, so that when it's cutting into a tree, it's easier to cut through because there's iron to protect it. It's easy to cut through trees. And what they're trying to do is get to the inside of part of that tree, the bark, and so forth. And they're using it to cut down trees so it can build lodges or stop the river from flowing by building a dam. So these teeth here are very important for the life of a beaver. So as you can see, we've talked about all sorts of things when we're thinking about teeth. We talked about what a homodont is, what a heterodont is. Homodont meaning having the same type of teeth, and then you also have heterodont, which refers to an animal has different types of teeth. We talked about the different types of teeth like incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Talked about the function of those. We talked about how having certain types of teeth determine whether or not you're an omnivore, herbivore, or carnivore. And then we also showed you some specialized teeth like carnassial teeth that slide over each other, big teeth like that with coated of iron on the front to help cut down trees to serve its daily purposes. So teeth are very, very cool. And you can learn a lot about an animal just by looking at its skull and seeing its teeth. So I'm hoping you saw some cool teeth here and you learned a little bit about teeth, and you learned some new terms and things like that that you can use when you're describing wildlife and teeth and how they consume their food or what kind of food they eat. So that concludes our lesson about teeth. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in and appreciate you tuning in. And we're going to do this again next week. Same time, same place. We're going to be right here, and we're going to be discovering nature as a group as well. So tell your friends about Discovery Club, share with them, and so they can learn a little bit about nature as well. So again, thank you for tuning in, and this coming week, I hope you get outside and you discover nature for yourself. Bye-bye, guys.